kids, it's teacher Ali here, and today we're going to be talking about how God protects. How has God been protecting you lately? Maybe it's an unhealthy relationship He's been shielding you from, a danger He's been warning you about, or a habit He's been giving you strength to avoid. God works in so many ways on our behalf, many of which we aren't even aware, and you'll learn more about that in today's lesson.
Whew. Have you ever had someone shoot a toy gun or fling a flying chicken at you? It can be scary trying to make sure you don't get hurt. In our story today, we're going to learn about two best friends who promised to never hurt one another and how they used a bow and arrows and a coded message to protect each other. Remember David and Goliath? David beat Goliath and became a hero. Even though he saved the day, he wasn't the king yet. The current king, Saul, wanted someone as strong and as brave as David to be on his team. But he was frustrated because David had been chosen by Samuel, a prophet, to be the next king of Israel. So David was supposed to be the next king, and Saul was supposed to be on his way out. And this made Saul angry because he didn't want to give up his role. He didn't want to stop being king. It made him angry enough to want to hurt David. Saul kept being the king for a long time and even had his son. His son, Jonathan, became best friends with David. David and Jonathan had made a promise to each other that they would never hurt one another. They wouldn't shoot rubber chickens at each other or hurt one another in any way. This was a hard promise to keep because Jonathan's dad, Saul, didn't like David and wanted to hurt him. One day, David was playing music for the king when Saul got so angry he threw a spear right at David. And David told Jonathan what had happened, but he didn't believe him. They set up a plan to test and see if Saul was really trying to hurt David. Their plan was simple. David would go hide in a field during a party, and if Saul went to look for him, they knew he was in trouble. Jonathan and David had a set of coded messages to help them know if David would be safe or if he was in danger. Saul ended up angrily looking for David all over the place after the party, so Jonathan shot a lone arrow near a field and had a servant retrieve it and gave David his coded message. Jonathan and David had to say goodbye, and David ran away to the hills so he could be safe from King Saul. I bet David was so scared that Jonathan might hit him with an arrow, forget their coded message, or so many other things. So many things could have gone wrong. But Jonathan helped David and made sure he got away to safety, even though it was his father trying to hurt his friend. God showed in this story that He can use you and your friendships for protection.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to download the activity sheets in the description below, and don't forget to email us your prayer requests at lighthouse@plaog.net. See you next week.